this is a follow-up story from Friday. I have some good news to share with you guys. Because medical marijuana legalization and regulation are certified for Nebraska's November ballot. That's right. The ballot initiative to legalize and regulate medical marijuana in Nebraska has officially been certified for the November ballot in the face of local lawsuits and a statewide investigation into whether enough of the signatures were valid. Nebraska Secretary of State Bob Envin announced on Friday that the campaign from Nebraskans for Medical Marijuana officially garnered nearly 90,000 signatures as of Friday. It comes the same day that Envin must finalize the November 5th general election ballot, and 1 year to the date from when the signature gathering campaign kicked off its third attempt in 2023. Envin said an ongoing investigation from Attorney General Mike Hilger's office has uncovered serious questions about the signature collection process for the petitions. At least one signature gatherer has been charged with a felony and, in quote, says, "I am certifying the petitions because at this point they appear to have met the threshold signature requirements." Envin said in a statement that that could change in light of the Attorney General's investigations, and both cannabis petitions will appear on the ballot, but a court could order later that initiatives be thrown out. Krista Eggers, who's the statewide campaign manager for the medical cannabis effort, thanked Hilgers and local officials for looking into any irregularities and working to protect the integrity of the public initiative process. And circulators are held to an extremely high standard and are required to strictly follow legal requirements for collecting signatures, Eggers said in an additional statement. Any circulators caught violating the law should be held accountable for their actions. And what the petitions do? Well, both 2024 petitions would define cannabis as all parts of the plant of the genius cannabis plant, including marijuana, hashish, and concentrated cannabis, but not hemp as defined in the state law. One effort, the Nebraska Medical Cannabis Regulation Act, would legalize possessing, manufacturing, and distributing, delivering, and dispensing cannabis for medical purposes, and would create the Nebraska Medical Cannabis Commission to oversee the law. If enacted, the commission would need to establish criteria to accept or deny applications for registered cannabis establishments by July 1st of 2025, and by October 1st of 2025, it would need to begin granting such applications. The other petition, the Nebraska Medical Cannabis Patient Protection Act, would set an allowable amount of medical cannabis at 5 ounces and would exempt patients and caregivers from using or assisting someone else in using the cannabis, and would require a written recommendation from a health care practitioner as well as a legal guardian or parent in the case of a minor prior to its prescription, even though it's a recommendation, but whatever. Envin first announced that the campaign had surpassed the signature threshold to qualify for the ballot on August 30th, but had some signatures were still being counted statewide, and initiative petitioners require valid signatures from at least 7% of registered Nebraska voters, about 86,500, including at least 5% of voters in at least 38 of Nebraska's 93 counties. The campaign submitted more than 114,000 signatures in July for each of its 2 petitions, and Envin's office confirmed that nearly 90,000 signatures were validated for each petition, both exceeding the 5% signature threshold in 52 counties. And so this article goes on and on. There's a lot that this goes, but overall, this has been a follow-up story. We've been following this along, and I think this is fantastic news that this is going to be certified. It's going to go on the ballot, and then if the legal challenges take it off later down the road, then that's just how the cookie will crumble in Nebraska. But nonetheless, I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this.
Well, at least they have an option to vote on it finally.
Yeah.
This is what, the third or fourth time that they've tried to get this ballot initiative actually on the ballot. Mm-hmm. So that's awesome.
That's right.
Welcome, Yarrow.
Oh, look at that. Look who decided to pop in today.
Well, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking all that big shit from under the desk while he was biting my ankle. Now he's in here and he's a little more calm, a little more decorum.
Yeah, nobody's biting your ankle. Just your thoughts.
What do you think about this, Matthew? people's
People still live in Nebraska, huh?
People do still live in Nebraska, bro. They got a pretty big...
Yeah, you know, all this ballot signature gathering stuff is always kind of, there's like an intersection of tomfoolery there, because usually the people who collect the signatures are free agents. They're not employees.
Mm-hmm.
They get paid on a per signature basis.
Yep.
Tend to fudge them, and I'd say a lot of times they're not really that rigorous about qualifying people.
Mm-hmm.
I've had that happen at local grocery store where I've had a petition signer be like, "Hey, will you sign this?" I'm like, "I already signed that one." It's like, "I get paid. Can you just sign it again?" It's like, "Yeah, no problem."
Oh yeah, that is a problem. That definitely is a problem. That's for sure.
But at the end of the day, getting enough signatures to be put on the ballot and foolery that may happen with that doesn't mean that when it gets to an election that there's fake voters in that election. And so the idea is that this is just a barrier to getting something on the ballot. And once it's on the ballot, I think most of us agree that we have faith in the current electoral process, the election system, that whatever the outcome of that vote is going to reflect the general desire of the populace. So it's sad to see how long it's taking for things like this to progress in states that are not progressive in terms of cannabis policy. And I'm excited that they get this on the ballot. It gets an affirmative vote. And then they can say that the will of the people in Nebraska is X, Y, and Z, and they can catch up because they're still playing catch up.
Let the record show that I do not have faith in our current electoral process or the integrity of our electoral system, but we'll keep it rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you guys see where it was either a day or two ago, Donald Trump was telling everybody to make sure you vote twice?
No, but damn it would work.
No.
That's your dude. Vote twice.
I mean, Daily Politics is the one that started that all with the cemetery vote, and his motto was...
Did you also see where Donald Trump told people to vote early? Remember, which is kind of weird. Isn't that a talking point that we don't want that?
I believe in voting in early voting. That way you can see really where your vote counts as far as what part of the percentile you're in. I personally like
depending
that.
on the state that you're in. Some states actually, after COVID, amended the vote so they're not counted until election night.